Who's there? You know. You know who? Oh, I get it. You're Voldemort, despite the bad voice acting, yeah. You got me there. Well, as you're here, you all knows how much I enjoy a good fan theory now. Don't do that. So let's delve into some Harry Potter fan theories so you all knows more about how deep the Potter universe could go. I know what you're doing, stop it. You mean, you knows what I'm doing? Right, no, that's it, I'm leaving now. Oh, come on, you knows I didn't mean it. Here are some crazy Harry Potter fan theories. One of the oldest theories in the Harry Potter universe is the idea that Ron is Dumbledore, obviously with a bit of an age gap. This theory was around before the books were even finished, and was based off the fact that younger Dumbledore was described to have auburn hair. Also, during the chess game at the end of the first film, Ron played both the knight and the king, which people thought was a hint that Ron was already playing two characters in the books. This theory states there's a population problem for witches and wizards, but it's the opposite problem that we muggles have experienced, which is overpopulation. However, for witches and wizards, they're underpopulated and it's getting worse. It was mentioned that Hogwarts has only 1,000 students in total. So on average, that's 250 per house, and per house year, that's about 35 or 36. However, in Harry's Gryffindor year, there is only about 10 students in the books, meaning that the other years had higher amounts of children. This is thought to be because they were born during the First Wizarding War. Neville's struggle with magic at first is generally thought to be because of his emotional baggage he brought with him, but others believe it was more to do with the wand that he was using. In Order of the Phoenix, he said he's been using his dad's wand, and when shown to be using that wand, he was struggling. And it's important to remember,
the wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter.
He really starts to show his true skills when he finally gets his very own wand. So maybe that was the reason, or maybe a combination of both. I mean, what do you guys think?
That went well.
There's a theory that states that Death in the Harry Potter universe is actually Dumbledore. Remembering the Deathly Hallows, 3 brothers cheated Death, and Death tricked them with rewards. An all-powerful wand, the Resurrection Stone, and an invisibility cloak to hide from Death. Maybe this story not only played out in the past, but was also played out during the films as well. Voldemort lusts for power like the first brother, Snape wishes to bring someone back from the dead like the second brother, and Harry welcomes death at the end like the third brother. The strange thing is, when you think about who could the Death character be now? Well, none only than Dumbledore himself.
Help will always be given at Hogwarts, Harry, to those who ask for it.
Not only does he greet Harry at the end, like Death is supposed to do, he is the only one to possess all 3 of the Deathly Hallows other than Harry. The more you look into it, the more it makes sense. Ginny seems like a wonderful girl and everything, so I'm not going to say that Harry couldn't have fallen in love with her. However, it is possible that Harry did so without his own free will. Could she have given Harry a love potion? Love potions have been used more times than they really should have, within the books particularly, and not always for good reasons either. However, we know that Ginny was already obsessed with Harry before Hogwarts started.
What did I do?
Ginny, she's been talking about your summer.
But I don't give this one too much credit because Harry doesn't seem to act in the same way these potions would normally make people act, so I guess I'll leave this one for you to decide. With the previous one, and maybe a love potion that doesn't change people too much, but what if it wasn't Ginny that gave Harry a love potion, but Mrs. Weasley? With this theory, she doesn't just get Harry, she also gets Hermione, setting a future for her family that she believes was best. Which isn't too hard to think of really, you just have to get past her persona of being such a lovely person. Alright, she probably is just a lovely person. As I've said before, Harry didn't seem like he was under the influence of a love potion. But the theory is out there. Harry Potter was born into a privileged life, and I don't just mean being the most famous figure in the wizarding world from the age of 1. In the wizarding world, pure blood families with unique magical heritage, have become increasingly rare and almost dominate the world. Harry's godfather, Sirius Black, also belongs to this family. Some fans have noticed Sirius's family tree includes Doria Black, who is married to Charles Potter. Some fans have speculated that these two were actually Harry's grandparents, which would make him and Sirius cousins. Unfortunately, J.K. Rowling had revealed that these are not actually Harry's grandparents. However, there may be a connection, so this theory still may be correct to some extent. Everyone knows that the Dursleys are not very fond of their foster son Harry, so much so that at this point they're pretty much sociopaths. But what if there is a reason behind their distaste for Harry? What if it's because Harry has been carrying around Voldemort's soul in him all of this time? We've seen that under the influence of Horcruxes, other characters have become very different people.
You wouldn't be saying any of this if you hadn't been wearing it all day.
So why would the Dursleys characters be any different? They have a nasty streak because they have been influenced by the Horcruxes for such a long time. Or maybe I have too much faith in humanity to believe people could be so horrid, I'll let you decide that one too. Well, Professor Trelawney's famous prophecy officially destroying Harry's life forever, stating, "Either must die at the hand of the other,
for neither can live while the other survives."
Although most people think that Harry or Voldemort must be the ones to kill each other. However, some have taken this prediction one step further, wondering if it's meant that Harry and Voldemort could only die if they were killed by each other. Since Voldemort is now dead, it meant Harry would never die. This may sound great, however has some rather serious implications, mainly because Harry is destined to watch his loved ones die and will never be able to join them. Despite all of the flaws, Dumbledore really cares about the quality of Hogwarts education, so he decided to hire the clumsy and boastful Gilderoy Lockhart, professor to teach defense against the dark arts. The principal just thought it would be a bit of fun to hire an idiot, but maybe there's more to it. According to Pottermore, almost no one could be found to fit a defense against the dark arts position because it was cursed. Dumbledore knew that Lockhart was fake and believed that hiring him would cause the wizard to eventually expose his own incompetence, stating to McGonagall, "Bad teachers can set an example of what not to do." Could Draco be a werewolf? Considering there's a whole website dedicated to this theory, there must be some good evidence for it. The theory is that Finnery Greyback was ordered to kill Draco as punishment for the failure of Lucius Malfoy's department of mysteries. Instead of frightening Borgin and Burke to his dark mark, Draco actually showed him his werewolf bite. This is why Narcissa did not reveal the fact that Harry was still alive during the Battle of Hogwarts. She tried to protect her werewolf son from the world Voldemort was creating. Rita Skeeter is a reporter who people aren't really that fond of. In The Goblet of Fire, she reluctantly wrote and published the story of Harry's Triwizard Tournament, and she knew the inside story of Voldemort's rise to power. What if she completely jumped out of the wizarding world after the Battle of Hogwarts and decided to write a complete story of Harry Potter in the Muggle world? After all, the Ministry will let her work. Who will believe that she is telling the truth? In fact, it would actually make a good cover story, so maybe Rita Skeeter is actually J.K. Rowling. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video on some short Harry Potter fan theories that are just outright weird. And if you did, then, well, click the like button. And if you didn't, click the dislike button twice, just to make sure. And also, if there's a big red button next to it, remember to click it, turn it grey. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching.